The Charlotte Hornets are terrible. Over their last 15 games, the Hornets are 2-13. In that 15-game span, their net rating is by far the worst in basketball by a wide margin. The gap between their net rating of 15.2 and the Wizards, who have the second worst net rating in that span, is a larger difference than the Wizards have with the 13th ranked Los Angeles Clippers. In one of my most recent videos, I talked about how the Atlanta Hawks are wasting Trae Young's career. And yes, LaMelo Ball is only 23, but 26 comes up pretty fast. Just ask Trae Young. So why are the Hornets so terrible? Well, to keep it simple, their offense is about as entertaining as watching paint dry. It really doesn't make sense when you have all that talent to have such a horrible offense. In their last 10 games, the Hornets have an offensive rating of 96.7. They're the only team in the last 10 games to have a rating under 104. The problem for the Hornets, despite the talent, is that they can't make shots. The Hornets take the 13th most shots per game, but despite the volume, they make the third least amount of shots per game. This is what an average Hornets possession looks like.
LaMelo takes his time. Rebounded by Bridges.
Or maybe this.
To the defense, then a moment of indecision by Simpson. But he finds Daquan Jeffries, who missed.
As much as people love LaMelo, he's absolutely a part of the problem of why this offense is so terrible. LaMelo is having one of the least efficient 25-point per game seasons since 2010. You also have to mention the Mark Williams situation.
Breaking news, the trade between the Charlotte Hornets and the Los Angeles Lakers for Mark Williams has been rescinded.
And yes, he's been playing since being back with the team. And in the last 5 games, he's been thriving, actually, averaging 16 and 11. The problem is, the Hornets already showed their cards with Mark. They don't think he's a part of their future. It also probably doesn't help when the guy you're probably most excited to see this year, 2023 second overall pick Brandon Miller, gets hurt. With that being said, though, he didn't really show as much growth as people probably were hoping for this year. And then he only plays 27 games because he gets wrist surgery. With the Hornets, losing isn't uncommon. In the last decade, they had the third worst win percentage, only above the Pistons and Magic. But at least for those two teams, they have promising former first overall picks.
NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Cade Cunningham. The Orlando Magic select Paolo Banchero from Duke University.
The Hornets don't have that. And last year's 6th overall pick, Tajon Shalon, hasn't really been an NBA level player yet. To be fair, everyone knew he was a raw prospect who had a high upside. The problem is, we haven't really seen much of that upside yet. So the question is, what do the Charlotte Hornets do? With the way the Hornets have been playing so poorly, I could for sure see them have the worst record in the league, especially because they just lost to the Washington Wizards. There's only a 3-game separation between the two teams, so I could see it happen. No matter how they finish their season, the only thing that's going to matter is how the lottery pans out. I think with whatever pick they get, they're probably going to end up drafting a player who projects to be more NBA ready. This is mostly because you drafted a guy who was a raw prospect last year, and I think the team is going to try and win more games next year because you have guys like LaMelo Ball. Brandon Miller's probably going to come back more healthy. So I think that's why they're going to lean in the direction of drafting a more NBA ready player. I'd like to think those guys would be guys like Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, or Liam McNeely. This offseason, there's going to be speculation about a LaMelo Ball trade. I don't see that happening for 2 reasons. Firstly, trading LaMelo Ball is just committing to playing losing basketball for the next few years. And I don't think the Hornets want to keep losing. The other thing is LaMelo's contract's huge, and he has a lot of injury concerns and other deficiencies in his game. So I could see a world where teams aren't really interested in giving the Hornets that much for LaMelo. The Hornets have a few options of what way they want to go this offseason, but they don't have much cap flexibility because they're already over the cap for next season. So let's go over those options. The most likely option is that they keep the roster roughly the same. This option is hoping LaMelo stays healthy and Brandon Miller can get back healthy and start improving next year. They'd also want to see Tajon Salon contribute at a higher level, and their first overall pick this year being an impactful player already. If the Hornets choose to go in this direction, I can see a world where if everything goes right, they would be around play-in range. The other option is that they could trade guys like Mark Williams, like Mikal Bridges, like Yusuf Nurkic, so they could get more cap flexibility. This option would probably lead them to be a worse team overall, but it would give them cap flexibility. Then there's an extreme option, where they trade everyone who's not Tajon Salon, Brandon Miller, and this year's first-round pick. This idea would lead them to more rebuilding years, which Hornets fans might not want, but it could lead to them getting higher draft capital for the next few years. We started this video by saying the Hornets are terrible. Right now, there is no easy path forward for the Hornets. They're playing horrible basketball, and they don't have a lot of cap flexibility this offseason. So it's going to be tough to see what direction they can go forward in that will lead them to playing better basketball. But if they don't figure it out fast, history will repeat itself. Alright, if you guys enjoyed the video today, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. It means the world. And I'll see you next time.